Hello again, sweet, awesome, amazing, glorious friend. I love you. It's Wednesday, and I had 3 kids this morning. I like to focus on the things that I did do. I did get everybody to school on time. I did have everyone dressed with shoes on. I did have food for them. I offered them food this morning. Yeah, I feel pretty good this morning, and I'm going to, I'm not going to eat sugar today, and I'm going to see if that has any impact. I kind of suspect that that's not, well, I don't suspect, I know that the sugar that I eat is not going to help how I feel. And yesterday I had, I just had a donut, but still, if you're sensitive to sweets, then even just one donut will make a difference. I'm turned my camera sideways. You'll have to tell me if you prefer it the way that I've been doing, vertical, or if you are okay with sideways. I took the smoothing filter off because I'm doing the comparison on the skin creams. You probably haven't seen me looking this ratchet in a while. I just let it auto. Whenever I'm doing videos, I usually just turn it on auto and let it do its thing, and it automatically has some kind of skin smoothing thing on it. But I knew that it was on there, and I'm like, whatever, I'm not messing with it. But I did take it off. Oh, okay. So I heard a rumor this morning that Mr. Callahan, if he cries, then there are other people in his life who won't make him go to school. And so my theory of if he cries long enough, he thinks that he'll get what he wants is proving to be true. And I don't know if you remember me saying or not, but one time he cried solid 45 minutes because he wanted to go outside and his dad had told him no. And then after 45 minutes, his dad gave up and brought him outside. And it's my theory that he thinks that if he cries long enough, he can get what he wants. And so I learned that little bit of information halfway through the morning this morning, and I told Callahan more than once, you're going. It's not up for debate. I'm taking you. And finally, I just told him, because he was crying in the car, I said, if you need to cry, go ahead and cry, but it's not going to change what's happening. You are going to school today. And he stopped. I don't know that you can necessarily reason with a 3-year-old, but I'm going to try, and he's going Mondays and Wednesdays. So, as long as, Sunday night, we'd have to keep him overnight, and then Tuesday night. So he would be home on Monday. We'll have to keep him overnight on Sundays and Tuesdays so that I can take him. Otherwise he probably won't go. And that's fine. I'm fine with doing that. It rained really hard last night. This is something I did not manage to do. It rained really hard last night, and Christopher was ready to go outside, and I said, do not sit on anything. It's going to be wet. And he says, my bike's under the tree. It'll be fine. I said, maybe, but there can be a rain under trees. Test it before you sit on it. So I come outside with the Callahan and Mila, and I'm loading everything in the car, and I'm like, are your pants dry? Oh yeah, they're dry. I'm like, okay, well, put your bike away. Let's get in the car. And he turned around, and the seat of his pants was wet. And then I got to look at a little closer, and because of the bike seat being wet, it looked like he had peed his pants. And I said, dude, your pants are wet. Oh, no, they're not. I'm like, I can see it right there. It's wet. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. So I'm like, come on, let's go change your pants. Well, he didn't want to change his pants, but I got him a pair of clean, dry pants, and I'm like, get in the car. I said over and over again, get in the car, get in the car. And finally I'm like, get in the car. And he's like, why are you screaming at me? I'm like, are you trying to drive me insane? I said, I'm sorry. And then I told him, I said, after we were all in the car getting ready to go, I said, buddy, if you don't want me to yell at you, maybe you should get in the car one of the 6 times before I asked you. The 6 times I asked you before I started screaming. And then I told his teacher when I dropped him off that, so this is the Olay side. I've been putting moisturizer on. Can you see that? Do you see what it's peeling on my skin? It's like, I don't know. I don't like that. I thought it had done that on my face the other day, and now I know it did. The L'Oreal side just, it's fine. And then I noticed, can you see how this is a little bit lighter than this? This is the Olay side, this is L'Oreal side. Anyway, interesting observations. Sorry, I got distracted. So I told his teacher what happened. He had gotten on his bike and he didn't want to change his pants, but they were clean, dry ones. And his book bag, she's like, it's all right. And then because I did not get Christopher's lunch packed, but what I am going to do is get him lunch. I gave him a choice of Jimmy John's. Well, actually, I told him I was getting Jimmy John's. He's like, can I have McDonald's instead? I'm like, whatever. I don't care. So he's like, can you get some from Miss Curran too? That's his teacher. And I said, well, she brings her own lunch, but if you want, we'll get her a dessert. And so he's like, okay, that's good. I asked her. He said, oh, by the way, I'm bringing McDonald's to him for lunch. And he wants you to have a dessert. Would you prefer a cookie or apple pie? And she thought about it a minute. She's like, apple pie. I'm like, okay, good. All right. For breakfast, just so I can, I'm not drinking. I have been drinking, decaf coffee with, raspberry, which is sugar-free, and mocha, which is not. So I'm going to stop drinking that. And then I've been, I generally will have a Long John, if I get Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm not going to do that. I did get English muffin today, so there are carbs. It's just not going to be directly sugar related. So we'll see how that goes. See if I can get my energy back up, because it's been really rough the last few days. So anyway, Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I don't know why that makes me laugh when I say that, but it does. Everything happens for a reason. It does. I got proven that a couple times this morning. When I went back in to get Christopher's pants, Mila's blanket for nap time was laying on the floor where she had set it down. So I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. It would have been pretty rough for her not to have her blanket. She had it in her hand. I just didn't notice that she set it down before we got in the car. Anyway, lots of love to you. And I will see you again as soon as possible. Lord willing and the creek don't rise.